Chicherit was flying, but only after that disastrous start.
Yeah, that start is really putting him right back, hasn't he? Because Ollie Bennett's lap time was a 30. Oh, sorry, Paillet's lap time was a 36.5. So Gerland Chicherit was taking chunks of time out of them there. So he would have been way up there and probably had a very clear gap at this point.
So a little bit of a shame for the GCK team boss. They had 4 cars in the semis. Both of the McGanns of him and his teammate Mark have made it through to the final in Canada. He's got a little bit of work to do if he's going to make it here in France. Paillet, the winner of race 1. On board with Timur off the start. Here we go. This is where he has a bit of a wheel-to-wheel, well, a door-to-door with Cyril Raymond.
Yeah, so he was on the outside of, well, as far outside as he possibly can be on the grid.
Like 6 inches off the apex.
Yeah. And contact with Cyril as he runs through, collects the gravel, collects Cyril once again. But then by turn 2, he's got himself clearing out front. And Cyril Raymond then went for the joke lap, dropped himself behind Paillet. And for me, that that's ruined his race.
This was on board with Timur. You can see the concentration through the Joker. Look, big deep breath, back on the gas again. He came out in front. He stopped the clocks in front. We weren't sure from the onboard reaction after the race whether or not he was super happy. Here it is, the Joker lap. Fantastic. Flinging the car around, but was he happy or not? Timur is top after 2 races in Q1. Here it is, Kevin. So this is what I mean. He had no choice over his grid slot, remember. He was the last person on the list. And he did the right thing there, Dan, because he didn't win the start, so he couldn't just chop in.
No, so backing out and deciding to cut in, but actually running right over the curb in the first corner. You see the car really bouncing there, so that wouldn't have been pleasant for him in the car. But you can see he's trying to use all the track to his advantage, but it still didn't quite work out.
If he got Bachuska in turn 1, I wonder, it was where he got Nappy. Look, I don't think Nappy knows. As the car transitions back from that sideways, just a little tap, and he did get it out of the gravel, but not in time to register a finish. I wonder if Kevin had got Bachuska, maybe he would have got Nappy then on the brakes down at turn 3. Hard to know, but on this occasion, not ideal. That's the first one done. You know, in the next one, he should be in with some slightly quicker guys. In theory, the next one again, so he'll battle his way through. But Topi Heikkinen has gone fastest so far, 229.991 on his return to the World Rallycross Championship. Right, on board with Bakkerud, into turn 1. Here we go. Pulls a couple of gears, moves across. Boom, gets a nudge now from Parson, does he? We don't see that very much. That looked much worse outside than it did inside. But for me, there's nothing really there. See that Parson hits Bakkerud. What do you think, Dan? This next bit here?
Yeah, it's this next bit. So you can see Markland coming across. Of course, Markland's not really going to know he's there.
I don't think Anton knows Andreas is there, but then is Andreas annoyed about this? Because okay, this was their Joker. It'll be the... So if it isn't turn 2, then it's the merge at the end of the race. So watch for the merge at the end of the race, because Andreas Bakkerud not happy with Anton Markland. Markland's going to go Joker now with Scheider. And watch for the merge. This is key.
Yeah, so Markland now coming around on the exit. Baumanis has already got him, and Bakkerud is trying to hook onto the back of Baumanis to force Markland in. We watch onboard now, so you can see there's no gap between them. Markland's trying to find his way through. It's really tight there, and Andreas having to be a bit forceful, but I mean, it's nothing too bad. I think maybe Andreas was a bit aggressive there, following on from what
this is Andreas at the end of the race. So Andreas is going to go and try to have a word, I think. Well, no, you're not. So that's interesting. So they're holding him back. You know, the last thing you want when you're in a World Championship fight, Dan, is to go and get all livid with another driver. Here we go. This was the start. So Liam, I say, was going to send it, but he'll have looked to his right and he'll know that Timmy was there. Not a lot he can do. Tries to go around, there's a little nudge there, and that actually runs him wide. Watch for Farazkin in the Skoda. So Farazkin cuts in too much, and boom, I think he hits the tyres. That really sucks him backwards. Doran gets up his inside. Gronon was a bit sideways through here, and that doesn't necessarily work here, does it, Dan?
No, you've got to be super smooth, and there you can see traction on Timmy's car just pulled himself through the inside there of Niklas Gronom, and from there Gronom wasn't able to do anything about it.
Farazkin doing a good job of handling the Skoda. It's obviously not something that's out of his reach in terms of car control. Look how close Liam was to the wall.
Yeah, Liam is, we know he pushes the limits, and that was a good example of it.
He's a brilliant driver, Liam. Timmy Hanson said yesterday that Liam is someone who has incredible car control, and I would absolutely second that. Having seen his outlap here a few years ago in the wet, I know I've mentioned it a few times, but brilliant stuff by Timmy Hanson. Comes P2 in the session. That's the best of the World Championship fighters. Scheider with the start of the year. You know, Timo's going to tell us that's all reaction time, but I think looking at, say, it being a 0.07, he gets the lights. So Toppy effectively got the whole shot ahead of the rest of the pack, but Bachuska had managed to get through turn 2, up into P2, and from then on, see, he had that little gap, didn't he, to Timo ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know whether that was just through first corner shenanigans, because he jokered then on lap 2 to try and cover off the guys behind. So maybe he gained on this, but this is the perfect joker, that continuous drift. And actually, car's looking pretty straight, isn't it? Slotting in front of Timur.
If he hadn't got in front of Timur there, he wouldn't have been able to do that, because Timur wasn't circulating at the same pace, definitely. Timur was the key, really, to the two packs, if you like. Timur drops into 5th. Still going mega quick. Don't forget, these are the fastest drivers in the World Rallycross Championship. But for Bachuska to edge Timur when he did, to get out when he did, into clean air. So, you know, he kind of ended up with a bit of clean air. Then he jokered, I guess, because he was catching Scheider, got Timur's yarn off, and then had more clear air. An incredible job by Rokas Bachuska, setting an absolutely brilliant time. Good lad, Andreas Bakkerud. That's a proper full-on apology. No excuses, you know, an apology. There you go. Good lad. He's got a lot of fans, Bakkerud. You can see why. He's a lovely bloke. They all are, you know, but this is, Dan, this is a world championship. They're dumping into each other. Everybody's committed and full of adrenaline. You make some crazy decisions sometimes. Good on him.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good on him. You know, fantastic apology there. And I've never heard that before. When you're pointing at someone, you've always got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself.
Yeah, it's very good. Mega. So Bakkerud chasing it down, on board with Kevin Hanson. Seeing Balmanis in front of him and Bakkerud. This was when Gronon went. Do you think Gronon wasn't quick enough in the Joker, or do you think Bakkerud took the time out of him in the run to the Joker?
I think he probably took the run out of him on the run to it. Although Gronon's Joker lap was roughly 3 tenths slower than Bachuska's. So, well, Bachuska hit the perfect one.
Yeah, Bachuska. That's the best Joker lap you'll ever see at Loiac, I reckon. If someone else can do that this weekend, yeah, he knew. Yeah, he knows he's got an onboard too. Saw him on then. Tiny bit of contact on the front right there. Bennett comes round, looking, there's nothing else here. Markle with a bit of contact with Poirier, just gets through that gap look with Bennett. 3 angles, I do like that.
I love seeing it coming into shot and you're looking at the passenger door.
Looking at the start, looking back at the start. So no, there wasn't contact at the merge, was there? So that's Markland. So is that Cyril Mark? So I don't know. You think maybe the curbs down?
I think he hit the tyres on the inside up here. Yeah, the wheel was already gone, and I could see when the cars came round, the marshals were out moving the tyre stack.
I've seen a couple of breakages on the front end of the Clio. Not sure, but well, Anton Markland's done it. I wonder if he's heard Andreas Bakkerud's apology already. Probably not.
You can see on board
with Chicherit now towards turn 1. Doran into the corner ahead of him, having had that brilliant start.
You could see that Liam was already moving before Chicherit even released the clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to find out a bit more about this, aren't we? Like, if Scheider and Doran, well, they can't cheat the lights. They've just both got lucky. Just that Loiac was a famous place for cheating the lights, but there you go. There you go. Good drive by Liam Doran, really good, really good. Decent Joker too. Chicherit seeing Liam Doran come out in front, been looking at the rear wing the whole way through. A couple of nips on the handbrake, but Liam Doran has done his chances, no harm there at all. Napping with a bit of contact. Fraskin going well around the outside. I think Fraskin coming from autocross, a bit like you did, Dan, is, you know, at least you've got some racing in you.
Yeah, so you got the racing and you got the loose surface experience, which is what you really need. I mean, not necessarily this track, but it means you can hold on to situations like that.
Yeah, yeah, that was a situation. Houston, we have a situation at Loiac. Yeah. But I wonder if the guys maybe will be looking at the data and going, look, you're a little bit too sideways here, you're a little bit too early on the throttle. But it's hard. It's a really hard thing to learn to do. So Parston, definitely a little bit too sideways there, but full send mode. Here are the standings at the end of Q2, and Rokas Baciuska is the overnight TQ. So that is the first time he's won a session and the first time he's been the overnight TQ for sure. Absolutely brilliant. Baciuska, in his first season in Supercar, has got the job done here at Loiak. Topi Heikkinen is second. You can see he missed it by 1 point, Topi did, although in fact it would have got, even if they were equal, it would have gone Baciuska's way because it goes to the winner of the last session. Timo Scheider in third place, great performance. Timmy Hanson, look, up in fourth. Andreas Bakkerud is fifth. Then we got two more of the Hyundais, Grono and Timosiano. So three of the Hyundais, all three of the Hyundais in the top seven. Balmanis is eighth. Page two. Doran up into ninth place. Liam Doran has climbed from 17th to 9th with that performance, getting, I think, what was he, fourth in the session? He was. And Tom Markland is 10th. Kevin Hanson actually goes up a place, does he? Or does he? No, he goes down a place. So Kevin was 10th, drops down to 11th. He's going to want to have a better day tomorrow, particularly because, look, behind him you can swell. He's on very equal points, look, with Doran, Markland, Hanson, Sabo, and then behind Fabian Paya and Gulan Chicherit. Chicherit needs another good result to stick himself into the semi-finals. I think Kevin will be okay because looking at it further down, you can see there's a little bit of a points gap, but he can't afford to have another couple of bad runs, and he's going to want to be further up the grid than that if he's going up against Timmy Hanson and Andreas Bakkerud.